Good morning, ladies. My name is Camille Giglio, and I'm from Ignacio Valley Republican Women. I've been doing tracking legislation, particularly in the areas of healthcare and education, and how those two areas affect family values. The sign there says family law. That's not quite correct. It's family values mostly, because we Republican women are interested in maintaining family values, and the legislature up here is interested in demeaning family values.
Exactly.
What I would like, if nothing else, I would like today for you to go away from here with two phrases cemented in your mind as alert buttons. One is scope of practice. The other is best practices. And those deal with healthcare issues, and they are a part of the weaponry in what Republicans should also be calling the war on women. You've heard that from the Democrats talking about the war on women. Well, we've got our side of a war on women going on by the Democrats in the healthcare arena. And I'm going to talk to you specifically about a bill, SB 1338. It's by San Diego Senator Christine Kehoe. And before I tell you the title of it, I want you to understand this title is misleading. The title of the bill is abortion. And there is nothing that can divide a room faster than that word. And it was designed to do exactly that. Because the bill, while it does focus on the practice of abortion, is actually about an expansion of the jobs market in the area of healthcare. Now, go back to 1974 with Roe v. Wade, when it was said that from now on women would receive reproductive care, particularly pregnancy care and abortion, in hospitals done by surgeons with compassion and love and consideration. This bill actually is going to turn it back to the back alley. Because what this bill says is that midwives, that the bill is going to decriminalize the act of abortion in the first trimester and give the job of first trimester abortions to midwives. Now, in order for them to do that, they have to decriminalize abortion in the first trimester by non-surgeons, because that is presently the law. And this isn't something that was just decided by Senator Christine Kehoe. This is coming all the way from the global issues of health care. And I would like to just read one little tiny portion of a statement by the International Committee on Population Development. It says, all countries should, by the year 2015, provide universal access to a full range of safe and reliable family planning methods which are not against the law. Now, how do you get a lot of this family planning stuff to be not against the law? You change the law. And in the process, you demean the practice of health care by giving to lower level health care workers the job and the status of physicians. Because that's what's going to happen in this bill. Women, and the way they have been able to do this is for the last 4 years, the state gave UCSF a waiver, a workforce development waiver to allow midwives to practice on pregnant women by aborting them. 70 midwives, with the grace of the state, did 8,000 abortions. The women didn't know that they were receiving this service by midwives rather than doctors, and that's what's going to happen now. I would like you to realize we have to take a position against this and stop SB 1338. It's up for a hearing on next Monday. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm here to talk to you about our higher education problems. To begin with, over the last 18 months, the state has cut funds to the CSU, the California State University System, $1 billion. That equates to 33% of their budget. The CSUs in return have increased tuition. We all hear about that almost every week. But their increases in tuition only covers about $500 million, which is half of their losses. The result of that, the loss of revenues, is that there's an inability for them to maintain access, for students to maintain access to the CSUs, and also an inability to maintain the quality of education. The solution, as it's been given to us, the budget proposal for the CSU is hinging on the approval of Governor Brown's tax initiative to increase our taxes. Without the tax hike, the CSUs will face an additional loss of $2 million. That's another 20%. So you all know that they're holding us hostage here. The school year 2012-2013, admissions have already been closed to students except for transfers from other junior community colleges. For the school year 2013-2014, there are going to be more cuts that are going to result in enrollment cuts by 20 to 25,000 students, employee layoffs, class size reduction, and elimination of some academic programs. So what they're doing now, at least what they're telling us, is that they're cutting their costs, they're maximizing their operational efficiencies, yeah, I hear chuckles out there. They're decreasing faculty and staff, and they're increasing class sizes. The Board of Trustees for the CSUs are looking at options if the future cut is $20 million to them. They're again looking at slashing enrollments, laying off, reducing class sizes, the same thing. The $20 million will result from the trigger cuts if we do not pass the tax proposal by the governor. And that will occur mid-school year if the taxes don't increase. This is another threat to all of us because mid-year cuts are very difficult to deal with. They're telling us that the cuts will also affect Cal grants. That's going to require an increase in GPA requirements to get Cal grants, and it will affect approximately 8,000 new students. The governor has proposed a thing called a weighted pupil funding, and it really addresses more of the, it addresses all schools, but in large part K-12 schools. And what it is over the past, since our history, since the early 80s, early 70s rather, the way that we funded schools has always been very lopsided. And then in 1971, they decided to change the way everything was funded, but basically what that did is it created their ability to fund more like school districts, certain areas, and you know how it goes with legislators. Some get more money in their districts and some don't. So because of all that lopsidedness, the governor is proposing a weighted pupil funding. Well, that's not new because the Governor Schwarzenegger's first Secretary of Education had proposed a similar plan. At any rate, the Senate and Assembly Republicans are proposing a roadmap to protect classrooms and taxpayers. Okay, I'll try to rush it along.